Hi, this is Ivy from Gypsy Road. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts courses, levels 5, 6, and 7. These are for your middle school kiddos, maybe your upper elementary kids, and we're just going to go over briefly the components of each of them. In level 5, there's a daily checklist. This is going to tell you everything that the kids are doing each day, and this gives them a chance to be a little bit more in charge of their own work. The course companion is for you, Mom, and it includes all of the extras that you'll need as a teacher to help them throughout the day. It includes states and capitals, poetry memorization, quick reference, course readings, editing, sentence dictation, and the answer key, which you are going to want as you're going through grammar. Here's an example of the answer key for page 118. Over in the course book, let's just go look at page 118. That's going to be at the very end because there are 120 lessons in this course. And they include some beautiful art that your student is going to make. 110, 118. So this is what we were just looking at the answers for. You've got grammar today. You've got a short section to read. They're looking at some more art. And then here they're working on their writer's notebook. In level 5, you start towards the very end of it about doing a lot of writing, how to write, different types of writing. But let's go back to the beginning of level 5. Level 5 has some of the books incorporated, such as Hans and Frida of the Swiss Mountains. You'll start the day with some vocabulary, some grammar, a little bit of art instruction, and art history. Then you'll read. And usually at the end of the reading, although it doesn't look like there is today, there'll be 1 or 2 reading comprehension questions. On days when they don't have the readings incorporated into the book, your students will get to choose to read from the shared reader and the personal reader. The shared reader is meant for you to read with them. And it includes Evelyn Steen, Gabriel in the Hour, Knights of Art, The Christmas Porringer, A Story of the Swiss Alps, and The Rescue Dog on High Pass. Then they have their personal reader that they get to read on their own. And it includes these stories. It also includes poetry. This course is meant to take about a year. One of the things we also have is the spelling words. We printed our spelling words out, and they just work on a set. They're laminated, so they're kind of glaring in the light. And they work on a set until they master that set, and then they move forward. You can find the files for the spelling words in our Good and the Beautiful page on in the Language Arts extension file. Level 6 is set up just a little bit differently. Instead of the course companion, you have an answer key with all of the answers in it. And the course at a glance is found right here in the very front of the book. Your daily checklist is here. It tells you what all is going to be found in this book. I like how it tells you level 6 includes what aspects of art. Which aspects of geography are covered in level 6. And it's very much Australia and New Zealand, if I could remember correctly. Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Thailand, Scotland, the UK, and New England. It tells you what they're going to cover in grammar. And there's a lot of grammar. One thing that I like about the Good and the Beautiful is that it's very grammar heavy. It covers reading, writing, and literature. And the major writing projects that are going to be covered here. If I kind of lost you with grammar heavy, I just want to go back and say, my mother was an English teacher for 35 years. And she has this story about the kids who would come up to her. There were 2 different classes in the grade level before she got them. One of the teachers taught a lot of grammar. One of them didn't teach a lot of grammar. And she could always tell without having to be told which class her students had come from based on their reading comprehension and their writing ability. And there's something about making those grammar connections that is so important for children. We have our spelling word list, and those are broken up just like we did for level 5. You can find them in the Language Arts Extensions files if you want to print them out and laminate them. Let's look at a sample lesson. We cover spelling. We cover a little bit of grammar. We're going to be reading Elizabeth Kinney in the Australian Bushland. They do more grammar, and instead of art history today, they are actually making their own perspective drawing. I think this was one of my son's favorite ones. He had never done perspective before, plus he just really enjoys doing pen and ink drawings. And they just start that today. Later on, they go back and they finish that perspective drawing. You do some poetry writing. You have a cooking assignment. And then we start our sentence diagramming also. We've done it before a little bit in levels 4 and 5, but we really get into it in level 6. The level 6 reader only has 3 stories in it, but they're longer stories, as you can imagine. Saved at Sea, When I Was Young, and Queen Hildegard. While these courses are meant to be a full year long, my son came to this late in the game, my older son. And so he completed both levels 5 and level 6 in a little under a year. He was doing a couple of lessons each day because some of the stuff, the spelling, the reading comprehension, all of that was easy for him. However, the grammar was something that had not been covered in the curriculum that we had used prior, and I just felt that he needed to go all the way back to level 5 and get a good base. So we did that. He probably could have started and completed level 7 this year too, or at least gotten a good start on it. But I didn't want to push him too hard, and I felt that completing 2 years in one was just fine. He still has 1 more year before he starts high school, so we have plenty of time to do level 7, which is what we're going to look at now. Level 7 is considerably more advanced than some of the other levels, and that's one of the reasons that we elected to go back and do levels 5 and 6 first for my older son. When we're looking at the course companion, one of the things that I like about it is these tabs along the side. Quick reference, course readings, editing, sentence dictation, answer key. Makes it very easy for me to quickly go to what I need. So I can flip to course readings, and I see that in addition to our book and our reader, we're reading about the Quakers, the Mennonites, and the Amish of Pennsylvania in this lesson. They read about it, they write about it. These readings are, of course, harder than earlier levels, and they're more age appropriate. Same thing goes for your reader. These are the stories included in the reader. And while the text was bigger with more pictures in the other books, obviously the text is getting smaller. That's not to say that there aren't pictures, because there are some occasionally. With level 7, we have our checklist again. This time it's printed out. Makes it easy for the student to take responsibility for what he or she is in charge of doing that day. Also in our files, we have made the spelling book for level 7. The theme for level 7 is the music of the 1900s, so it goes all the way from the 1900s through the 1960s and all the way up to the 1990s. Each of the spelling books has a theme if you're interested in it. Music, art, birds, fish, nature. I think one of them is black and white photography. They each have a theme, and that gives you an opportunity, if you so desire, to take the Charlotte Mason aspect and kind of go a little bit deeper and research what that theme is for the spelling book. So there are 2 course books in level 7, similar to level 4. At the beginning, in the first course book, here in lesson 9, we're reading about different phrases. We're reading about grammar and how we read and write. We're doing some grammar exercises. We're studying Pennsylvania. We study the 13 colonies here in this book. We're talking about how did Pennsylvania get its name? Why is the Liberty Bell famous? We've got our geography work. Same lesson, We're reading about paraphrasing and how to not plagiarize. Level 7, it's kind of important that they be able to do research assignments and papers without plagiarizing. So we read about it, and then of course they have a writing exercise to go with it. So this is kind of at the beginning of level 7. The art for level 7 also is pen and ink, or pencil, charcoal. It's black and white. Lesson 118, towards the very end. We're still doing grammar. We're doing some drawing practice. Now we're writing and thinking about how to think. We're still doing summarization, plagiarizing, but we've taken it a step further, and we're talking about how do we think? Why do we think the things that we think? It's just, we're getting ready for that abstract thought that comes with high school. Winslow Homer, studying some of Homer's paintings. Passive voice, a lot more advanced writing. We do more writing. We still have our writer's notebook. I'm excited to see the high school program, which should come here in just a couple of weeks. We've already ordered it. And as soon as we get that, I will go through it. I will let you guys know what it looks like on the inside. But I think that once my son has completed level 7, he will definitely be ready for whatever their high school program can throw at him. I hope that these videos have helped you to make a decision on where to put your students. They also have a great assessment tool at the Jenny Phillips page, but this will give you a chance to kind of see what's right inside of them. Thank you.